Hello again, it's Scott Duffy. I'm doing this series on frequently asked questions on the Azure 70-532 exam, developing Microsoft Azure solutions. This is the fifth video in the series. In today's video, we're going to talk about how much coding is there on the Azure 70-532 exam. Well, the latest version of the exam, and this is in early 2018, seems to have a lot more coding than it used to. Some recent students of mine who've taken the exam say that there were up to 40 to 50% coding questions on the exam, and that's quite a high percentage. When I took this exam over a year ago, there were only maybe 3 or 4 questions on the entire exam, less than 10%, that I would have considered to be coding questions. So they certainly ratcheted up the coding element. That actually makes some sense because this is an exam aimed at developers, and so there is a development aspect to it. I'm giving you an example on screen. I'm not really going to read it to you, but you can sort of expect and have to know how a connection string looks when you're connecting, like in this case, it's a .NET application to an Azure storage account using the Azure SDK. And so having to look through various XML settings in terms of the web config file to understand which is the correct one is going to be an example of the type of thing. In case you're wondering, of course, the application settings section needs to have a key. Key can be any name that you want, but the value has those following elements: the default endpoints protocol, the account name, and the account key. The other trick to this is that the questions are not necessarily all .NET questions, and so I've been told that some students are seeing Java questions or Node.js or even command line type questions. So it's not that you have to know these languages, and you're not going to be sitting down, let's be honest, you're not going to be sitting down and writing an entire program, but you do need to look among a number of alternatives and choose the line of code that fits in that situation, or you do need to pick a method or write a piece of code for a single line, etc. So I would set the expectation that it's not just .NET, that you should install the command line interface and start using the CLI to interact with Azure. I do have a number of Azure courses. There's a link in the description. I do have one for the 70-532 exam, and I'll put a discount there for you, so check it out. I have over 65,000 students on the Udemy platform and over 40,000 students in my Azure courses. Tens of thousands of students have rated my courses as being 4 or 5 stars, excellent. So I would look forward to having you check those out and having you as a student if you'd want to pursue that. Thanks.